Welcome to Recenter with Rose. I'm here with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj. No, I'm just kidding. I think I just wanted to... Without further ado, let's get into the video. So we are going to talk about Nicki Minaj and the current situation that's happening with Nicki. And it's very unfortunate that has happened that way, because a lot of her fan base found a lot of healing through Nicki Minaj. They found a way to really be the authentic self and not be ashamed to be themselves because of Nicki Minaj. And a lot of her fan base are confused on the fact that she would be able to do that and align herself with certain people and certain entity that don't align with the majority of her fan base. And I can already see on the internet that there's a narrative that Nicki Minaj had no choice but to do this because of the people that she decided to go after this year, mainly the Carters, because the Carters and Kylie B are aligned with the opposite side. So she had no choice but to go on the other side. And part of it is true. Part of what they're saying is true, because Nicki Minaj has fully embraced the fact that she is the bad guy, right? She said, she's been saying it since 2018, that you want me to be the bad guy? Okay, let's go. Let's John Lee it. And yes, part of it is true that Nicki Minaj is choosing to align herself because she completely went after the Carters, and other people are saying that she needs to protect herself because the best way she can protect herself is align herself with the other parties, so she has a little bit of protection. And that could also be true because the industry, there's a lot of politics that goes in the industry. Frankly, it's not even the industry, it's life. There's a lot of politics that goes into life, and the people that succeed in life are the people that knows that there are politics. There are people that you shouldn't cross until you have a certain amount of power and connection. And if you don't have the power and the connection, you have to find a way to align yourself with the right people that will give you the connection and the power that you want. And it could be a chess move that she's doing. But part of me have to be honest. I have to not put Nicki Minaj on a pedestal like everybody is doing. I hate putting my stars in a pedestal because I know that they're human being, and I know that they're using the Black community to make it. And it's sad that white people use the Black pain to trigger Black audience, and the Black artists use the Black pain to trigger the Black community. Now, what Nicki Minaj said about boys will be boys is not necessarily a bad thing that she said that. It's what people are going to do with what she said. Now, you are an audience that are not pro-gay, and you come out and say those things. The audience is going to take it away the sentence that she said is just true. Boys will be boys. You don't have to be ashamed if you're highly masculine. You don't have to be ashamed if you're a boy and you're feminine. Those are just energies. I don't understand. And I can make another video about being a feminine boy. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily gay. Being a masculine boy doesn't necessarily mean that you're not gay. And that's the complexity that people don't talk about. But knowing that you're in that kind of audience and people are going to take whatever you're going to say and twist it, is what makes what she did very evil. I'm not gonna lie and use that word. And intentional, maybe, right? Because I think part of her knows that she may be realizing that she built a fan base that is no longer authentic to who she's becoming. And perhaps part of her wants to fragment that audience in order for her to build the audience that she now wants. Very possible. The other possibility is that she knows very damn well that she is a big global star. So no matter what she does, her fan may be able to separate the artist from the art, and she's not going to lose a lot of her fan, and which is true. It's completely true. It's a gamble, and it's a really good gamble, because her fans are very much not delusional. A lot of fan bases are delusional. They're not super delusional. They're just protective of Nicki in a way, because they saw what the industry attempted to do to Nicki, push her out, and they were very, very, very it was very visible to them, right? And Nicki fought like hell to stay in the music industry and not be pushed out in the music industry. And because of that, they have a symbiotic relationship that is very toxic, but very much protective of Nicki. No matter what she does, some of her fan base will stay and they're just going to listen to her music. But and it's happened already where a lot of her fan base don't really like to defend her anymore. They just enjoy the music. That's it. So enough with that. But the other subject that Nicki brought up is the Sydney Sweeney, or whatever her last name is, situation that happened with the Good Genes situation. And that's what disappoints me with Nicki. Nicki likes to play like she doesn't understand. She plays dumb. She plays dumb for so many. She doesn't understand the bigger picture, right? And that's, before we go into the Sydney Sweeney situation, let's address how Nicki has manipulated her Black audience. Whenever something bad happens to Nicki, she brings up, oh, it's because I'm a Black woman, or it's because I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, Black. Magically, she remembers that she's Black. Whenever something happens to the Black community, she's like, it's not because we're Black that this is happening to us. It's because of this, 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 this. She has completely manipulated her audience to think that whenever something bad happens to her, it's racism. When something bad happens to them, is that they don't understand fully. And that's something I cannot stand by. Not when it comes to Nicki. And how influential she is. So let's go back into the Sydney Sweeney thing. Is a big segue because it's exactly what she's doing, right? When they say she got the good genes, right? They knew exactly what they wanted to do with that. For a woman that has built her entire career on double entendres, double meanings, lyrics, she writes lyrics that have double meaning. How come you do not understand that what they said right now had a double meaning to it? She plays dumb like she doesn't understand it, right? And there's no way that we are going to do to little black white girls what they did to little black girls. There's no way. Because let's be honest, whiteness, especially blue eyes, blonde hair girls, are the standard of beauty. No, I could, even if I tried to talk down I could never. Because the world is going to reaffirm to them or to her that she is the beauty standard. We also have to understand what Levi's did with that double engendre, right? With that double meaning that they had put there, they purposely knew what they were doing. And that's why people are upset. They purposely knew what they were doing, and they knew that there was a chance that they were going to receive a little bit of backlash because of it. But it was worth it. Why was it worth it? Because even if you have backlash, what you're doing to the subconscious of people is what they were after. What you have to understand the mind. The mind, when you put an idea in the mind, all you need to do is let it simmer. You need time to simmer, right? Ever since Hitler, I'm gonna bring it up because there's a shift that's happening and we have to bring it up. Ever since Hitler, we have subconsciously put out there that the standard of beauty, the perfect race, the perfect human being needs to be blue eyes and blonde. This is why a lot of the stars, especially if you're a pop artist, you have blonde hair and blue eyes because it's the standard of beauty. You can say, well, Rihanna made it and she wasn't a blonde. Rihanna made it, but she is not. She is a global star, yes. But can Rihanna compete in the music industry and sell stadium? No. Even with how much time she has in the business, she cannot. Beyonce had to bleach her skin, had to become blonde to compete in that global sphere. Okay, and then compete with other girls that Jay-Z may like. That's another story altogether. But she had to do it to compete globally, and because of that, she was rewarded. If you look at the new stars that we have now, most of them are going to be blonde, blue eyes, and the others are just going to, you'll have like a sprinkle there that are not, right? But that is the standard of beauty that was put in the psyche. And we may say we don't think like that anymore. We do think like that. And by putting that commercial out there, what you're doing is subconsciously, you know that people are going to think automatically about DNA, genes, and they're going to associate her with good, as they always do. Black, bad. White, good. So they're going to associate her with good. And then genes. Good genes. Yeah. You say it. You may be thinking about genes, but as you're saying it, you're like, yeah, she does got good genes. Right? And then, whether you realize it or not, you're going to associate it with DNA. And then you're going to have little kids that don't look like her that's going to say, genes? What are genes? Somebody might be, when you think about genes, somebody might say, oh, it may be something you're wearing. Okay. Or you may be referring to your genome, your DNA, like the way you look. Okay, the way I look. Okay, I don't look like that girl. Right? As with that, it's easier to reinforce bias that we already have on our society than to do the complete reverse. We would have to completely rewrite a society to make little white girls feel insecure. We can. Even if they get one person that tells them that you are not beautiful, one person, the way that the world works, that negativity will completely be erased. Because the world reaffirmed over and over and over and over again how beautiful they are. The world does not reaffirm how beautiful I am. It doesn't. I have to physically reaffirm to myself every day how beautiful I am. Right? A little white girl does not have to do that. It's not something that she has to think about. The world already is telling her that she is beautiful. The world, as she goes through the world is going to compliment her. Doors will be open to her just because of what she looks like. So for Nicki Minaj to act like she doesn't understand double meaning, it's, again, she wants to be the bad guy. She wants to live in her bad era, and her fan base is paying for it. But she's also an hypocrite, because she's an hypocrite because she has used the Black community over and over again to make her point. But she does not let the Black community make their own point. She has used the gay community to sell her album, to cater to them. But when it's time for her to have their back, she doesn't. She never really does. She will never really will, because she manipulates the system to make it. And a lot of Black artists do that. Nicki is not the only person that does that. We need to be able to open our eyes to see when our artists are doing that. But are we going to do it? Because, again, if we do that, you will quickly realize how much your artists are using your pain to make money out of you. And the fact that they are able to elevate themselves and they do exactly what the oppressors are doing to you. Think of your artist. Whenever an artist is pro-Black, pro-anything, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Because oftentimes they align with the times and they're pro-something. Okay? And or they wait until they have a lot of success and it's harder for them to fall down to be for the movement. For me, if I'm going to authentically believe an artist that they are pro whatever movement they're going for, I need you to be like that from the beginning. When you have nothing and at any moment you can lose it all, exactly what happened to Kaepernick. The man took a stand and lost everything in the process. How many people would be able to do that? And then you had the entire star system, the industry that used his struggle, his movement to manipulate the Black community. And then they came back, I'm talking about the Carters, they came back and said, it's time to heal. It's time to take a stand, but a different kind of stand. And now, moving forward, you have all the Black artists entertaining the white audience. Oh my God. You know, dancing for them. It's not a movement. It's making mockery of our pain. It's making mockery of the Black pain. And I'll make another, I think when it comes to Black, another thing I can stand, but Black History Month, I think I'm gonna make a series on how the industry uses Black pain, because y'all don't understand it or don't want to understand it. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about this. So that's the end of the video. Let's chat about it, let's move forward, and let's liberate ourselves from supporting people that are using our pain. Until the next video.
Done to little Black girls, done to little white girls. I don't want it done to any girls. I want all the little girls in the world to know that you are unique, you are beautiful, you are you, and you can compliment another girl, you can compliment another woman and still know that you are epic and amazing.
This is actually really fucking weird. Nicki Minaj just showed up at Turning Point USA's America Fest for a cozy little Q&A with Erica Kirk, the new head of TPUSA. Yes, that Turning Point USA, the far-right youth org, the culture war factory. Nicki walks on stage saying she's honored to be here, then praises Donald Trump and JD Vance for being relatable. Relatable to who? Let's be clear. This is not some random appearance. This is the same Nicki Minaj who spoke at the United Nations with the Trump White House, has been posting Trump Truth Social screenshots, and is now openly aligning herself with the right-wing political infrastructure. And now she's doing events with the widow of Charlie Kirk, who literally just took over TPUSA after his assassination, and is openly promising to fight and expand the movement. A rapper with tens of millions of followers standing on stage with one of the most aggressive conservative organizing machines in the country, and nobody's supposed to notice? Nobody's supposed to ask why a global music icon is suddenly being plugged directly into American far-right power networks? This is influence. This is normalization. And yeah, it's weird as hell. And if that doesn't set off alarm bells for you, you're not paying attention. No.
Have you been involved with speaking about politics? What was kind of the turning point for you? Yeah.
What was the turning point? Well, I just got tired of being pushed around. Yeah. Sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there. That's right. So when you've had enough, you realize, wait a minute, why do I even care about these people and what they think? Who are they? They don't even know who they are. I'm not going to back down anymore. I'm not going to back down ever again.
Amen.
Oh, can I get that must? Can I get those jeans? Can I get that truck? Can I get that Morgan Wallen on a loop, loop, loop? Can I get ice all around the USA? I was like Trump, hey, do you think you could put a red hat on a Barbie? Okay, let's get it now. I'm with the MAGAs, we in a church. I don't say hi, say we Charlie Kirk. We Charlie Kirk, we Charlie Kirk. Motherfucking right, I'm a motherfucking turf. If a new scum get cute, I'ma rip him. Tweet a lot of tweets at him, then yell diss him, diss him, diss him, then yell diss him, then make every kid detransition. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm really such a sweetie. I rap Republicans, you know Sydney, Sweeney, and we be giving donuts to the police on the daily. We give a lot of money to Elon, Donald, and JD, yelling all around the states. Do you hear me? Everybody hates the LGBT. Rest in peace to my old stances. Yes, my dear, I fear the trans kids. Say hi to Ted and Ron DeSantis. Now which one of you men gonna part of my manses? Yo.
Her husband, and I have never condoned that, and I never really liked him. I never supported that at all, and I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I love Nicki Minaj, so that's something I'm willing to look past. I'm not saying it's a good thing to look past at all. However, I was a hardcore Barb. I still am a hardcore Barb. I love Nicki down. Her music has helped me so much throughout my teenage coming out era, and just like everything. She's helped me so much through her music, and she has empowered me and makes me feel empowered. So to see her support this administration that goes against everything that I am is so disheartening. More so making this video because, again, I'm very much so a Barb, and on my online presence I'm not afraid to tell people that I am and show it, like in my background, or if I'm wearing a Nicki shirt as I'm getting ready. That's why I feel like I need to address it, because I do get comments of people asking me, why do I have Nicki up, or why do I have this, or why do I do that when it comes to Nicki Minaj. And this is me addressing it finally, and I've kept it kind of to myself for the longest time. Have not wanted to do this with Nicki Minaj, but I have to separate the art from the artist, and it sucks. It sucks. It's of what she tweets and all the things that happened this past year. And when I go on to like check in, and like maybe she said like, oh, this was all a joke, or maybe like this is all this and that, it just gets worse. And I feel like she's digging herself in a bigger hole every time situation this past year, and enough is enough. And I'm not saying that I'm not ever going to listen to Nicki Minaj song ever again, because she's literally on my playlist. She's my top artist for the past like ever. Nicki Minaj religiously. If you know me in person, I'm always quoting Nicki. I cannot stand and condone everything she has done at this point, and I feel like it just got to a point where I'm just done. I'm wishing her the best. I really wish nothing but the best for Nicki Minaj, because I'm such a huge fan of her, but it's just so disheartening, and I can't support it anymore. I've cut friends, I've cut family off that supported the current administration, and I don't think it's fair for me to not follow suit with her. And yeah, and it sucks to see that she's allowing them to use her and use the Barbs to kind of create this agenda around everything, and it sucks. It sucks. This is my message to my followers and the Barbs. It's time to make Nicki realize that she is not in the right, and it's time that we do something about it and not just condone her behavior.